Hello everyone, welcome back. We are so happy you are here today. Whether you are drinking coffee, cooking dinner, driving to work, or simply relaxing at home, thank you for spending your time with us. Today is not just another English lesson. Today is a reminder that you are stronger than you think, smarter than you believe, and more capable than you imagine. So relax your shoulders, take a deep breath, smile if you can, and let's enjoy learning English together.
Hello, my wonderful friend. It is always a pleasure to have you here. We know that learning a new language is not always easy. Sometimes you feel excited, and sometimes you feel frustrated. Maybe yesterday you learned 10 new words, but today you forgot 5 of them. That happens to everyone, so please don't feel bad. Learning English is a journey, and every small step you take brings you closer to your goal.
Before we begin, if you enjoy these conversations and they help you improve your English, please support our channel by liking this video and subscribing. It really helps us create more lessons like this, and it also helps more English learners around the world discover these conversations. Now, let's begin today's topic. Believe in yourself and speak English with confidence.
I love this topic because confidence is something that almost every English learner struggles with. Many people understand English very well. They can watch videos, read books, and listen to podcasts. But when it is time to speak, they become completely silent. Their mind suddenly says, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me? What if my pronunciation is bad?
That little voice can be very loud, can't it? Sometimes it tells us that we are not good enough, but today we want to prove that voice is wrong. Every person who speaks English well today was once a beginner. Every fluent speaker started with simple words like hello, thank you, and good morning. Nobody started with perfect English.
Exactly. Sometimes people look at a fluent English speaker and think, wow, that person is so talented, but they don't see the years of practice behind that success. They don't see the mistakes, the embarrassment, the forgotten words, or the difficult days. They only see the final result.
That reminds me of something funny. Have you ever tried to say a word with complete confidence and then realized you pronounced it completely wrong?
Oh, don't remind me. That happened to me many times. Once I wanted to order dessert at a restaurant. I practiced the word all day in my head. I felt so confident. Then I walked to the counter, smiled proudly, opened my mouth, and said a completely different word.
Oh no, what happened next?
The person looked at me with a very confused face. I looked at them with a confused face. We both stayed quiet for a second, then we both started laughing. Finally, I pointed at the dessert and said, "This one, please. Problem solved."
I love that story. And do you know what I like most about it? You didn't stop speaking English after that.
Of course not. If I stopped every time I made a mistake, I would never improve. Mistakes are teachers. Sometimes they are funny teachers, but they are still teachers.
I couldn't agree more. Many learners believe that confidence comes first and speaking comes later, but I actually think it works the other way around. Confidence grows because you practice. The more you speak, the more comfortable you become. The more comfortable you become, the more confident you feel.
That is such an important idea. Imagine someone who wants to learn how to ride a bicycle. Would they become confident before getting on the bicycle?
Not at all. The first ride is usually a little scary. Maybe they shake a little, maybe they lose their balance, maybe they even fall down once or twice.
Exactly. But imagine if they said, I will wait until I feel confident and then I will ride the bicycle. Well, they might wait forever.
That is absolutely true. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build. Every small action makes it stronger. Every conversation makes it stronger. Every mistake makes it stronger.
Let's ask everyone listening a simple question. Please think about your answer. Why are you learning English? Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to study abroad. Maybe you simply enjoy learning new things. Whatever your reason is, never forget it.
Yes, your reason is your motivation. When learning becomes difficult, remember your reason. It will help you continue. Some days you will feel excited. Other days you will feel tired. That is completely normal. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even if your steps are small.
You know, I have a little challenge for everyone listening today. It is very simple. After this conversation ends, stand in front of a mirror and say, I can speak English. I am learning every day. I believe in myself.
I actually do something similar. Every morning, I tell myself, today I will learn something new. Some days it's a new English word. Some days it's a new idea. The important thing is to remind yourself that learning never stops.
And please don't compare yourself with other people. This is one of the biggest mistakes learners make. They watch someone speaking perfect English and immediately think, I will never speak like that. But remember, you are only seeing one chapter of their story. You didn't see the beginning.
Exactly. Imagine two people climbing a mountain. One person is near the top and the other person has just started climbing. It would be unfair for the person at the bottom to say, I am a failure. They simply started at a different time.
I really like that example because everyone has a different journey. Some people learn quickly, some people learn slowly, but moving slowly is still moving. A slow step forward is much better than standing still.
Can we practice a few positive sentences together? They are simple, but they are powerful. If you can, repeat them out loud after hearing them. Don't worry about your pronunciation, just speak with confidence.
Here comes the first one. I believe in myself.
Wonderful. Now say it a little more confidently. I believe in myself.
Great. Now the second sentence. I am improving every day.
Excellent. One more time. I am improving every day.
Now let's try the last one. It's my favorite. I am not afraid of mistakes because mistakes help me learn.
That sentence is beautiful. In fact, let's say the last part again because it is very important. Mistakes help me learn. Once more, mistakes help me learn.
How do you feel now? Hopefully a little more confident, maybe only 1% more confident. And you know what? That's enough. Tomorrow you can become 1% better again. Small progress every day creates big success over time.
Before we continue, I want you to remember one thing. You don't need perfect English to communicate. You only need courage to start speaking. Perfect English is not the goal. Communication is the goal. So don't wait for perfection. Start with the English you already know and let your confidence grow one conversation at a time. I really love what you just said because so many learners wait for the perfect moment. They think, I will speak English when I know more words, or I will start talking when my grammar is perfect. But that perfect moment almost never comes. If you keep waiting, 1 month becomes 6 months, and 6 months becomes 1 year. The best time to start speaking is today, even if you know only a few simple words.
That reminds me of a friend I met a few years ago. He wanted to improve his English, but he was afraid of making mistakes. Every time someone asked him a question in English, he smiled politely and answered with only one word. I asked him one day, "Why don't you speak more?" He looked at me and quietly said, "I don't want people to think my English is bad."
Oh, I think many people listening can understand that feeling. So what did you tell him? I asked him a very simple question. I said, when you were a child, did you speak your first language perfectly? He laughed and said, of course not. Then I smiled and said, so why do you expect yourself to speak perfect English on the first day? He became quiet for a moment, and then he started laughing too. I think that was the moment he realized he was expecting too much from himself.
That is such a powerful lesson. We are often much kinder to other people than we are to ourselves. If a friend makes a small mistake in English, we usually smile and encourage them. We don't laugh at them or tell them to stop learning. But when we make the same mistake, we become our own biggest critic.
Exactly. So today, let's make a small promise together. Be patient with yourself. Learning a language takes time. Every new word you learn is progress. Every sentence you speak is progress. Even every mistake is progress because it teaches you something new.
Can I tell you about one of my funny mistakes?
Please do. I have a feeling this is going to be interesting.
It really was. One day I wanted to tell someone, I am very excited, but I accidentally used the wrong word. The person looked surprised and said, "Are you sure that's what you wanted to say?" I immediately realized my mistake. My face turned red and I wanted to disappear for a second.
Oh no, what happened after that?
We both started laughing. Then the person kindly explained the correct word, and I never forgot it again. You know what is funny? That embarrassing moment actually helped me remember the right word forever.
See, that is the magic of mistakes. They can feel uncomfortable for a few seconds, but sometimes they become the lessons we remember the longest. So instead of being afraid of mistakes, we should thank them for helping us improve.
I completely agree. And I also want everyone listening to remember something important. You do not need a perfect accent to speak good English. People from many different countries speak English with different accents. That is completely normal. Your goal is to be clear, not perfect.
That is such an important point. Sometimes learners spend hours worrying about one small pronunciation mistake, but they forget that communication is much more important. If people understand your message, then you are already doing something wonderful.
Let's do a little speaking practice together. Imagine you meet someone for the first time. You don't need difficult vocabulary. You can simply smile and say, "Hello, my name is," "Nice to meet you." That is enough to begin a conversation.
Yes, then you can ask simple questions like, where are you from? Or what do you do? Or how's your day going? Small conversations build big confidence. Every friendly conversation makes speaking a little easier.
Sometimes learners think they need to know thousands of words before speaking English, but that is not true. A few hundred common words can help you have many everyday conversations. The secret is not knowing every word. The secret is using the words you already know.
Exactly. Imagine you have 100 words, but you use them every day. Another person knows 2,000 words but never speaks. Who do you think will improve faster?
I think the first person will improve much faster because practice is more important than simply collecting vocabulary.
Absolutely. English is not only something you study, it is something you use. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes. One day you will notice something amazing. You will stop translating every sentence in your head. You will simply speak.
And when that day comes, you will smile and think, "Wow, I really did it." It will not happen because of luck. It will happen because you never gave up. You kept listening, you kept practicing, you kept believing in yourself, even on the difficult days.
So, if you're listening to us right now and thinking my English is still not good enough, let us tell you something from our hearts. Don't quit. Keep going. Your future self will be thankful that you continued today instead of giving up. You know, something interesting happened to me a few months ago. I was sitting in a small coffee shop reading a book when I heard two people speaking English at the next table. They were having a very simple conversation. They were not using difficult words, their grammar was not perfect either, but they were smiling, laughing, and understanding each other. That moment reminded me that communication is much more important than perfection.
I love that story because it teaches such an important lesson. Sometimes we think English has to sound perfect to be useful, but that is not true at all. Imagine you are traveling to another country. You don't need to know every word in the dictionary. You only need enough English to ask for directions, order food, make new friends, or ask for help when you need it.
Exactly. And do you know what I noticed about those two people? Every time one of them forgot a word, they didn't panic. They smiled, used different words, or even used their hands to explain. The conversation continued naturally. Nobody stopped and said, "Oh no, my English isn't perfect, I should go home now."
That would be funny. Imagine leaving a restaurant because you forgot one English word. No, that's not how learning works. We keep going. We find another way to explain our idea. Communication is like solving a small puzzle. There is almost always another way to say something.
That is why I always tell learners, don't be afraid of simple English. Some people think simple English sounds childish, but actually simple English is powerful. Even native speakers use simple sentences every day. Clear communication is always better than using difficult words that nobody understands.
I couldn't agree more. Sometimes learners memorize long and complicated vocabulary just to sound impressive. Then, when they finally have a conversation, they forget everything because they're too nervous. But if they focus on simple, useful English, speaking becomes much easier and much more enjoyable.
Let's imagine a situation together. You meet someone for the first time at a park. What could you say? You don't need a long speech. You can simply smile and say, "Hello, how are you today?" Maybe they answer, "I'm doing well, thank you." Then you ask, "Is this your first time here?" Just like that, a conversation begins.
Exactly. One question becomes two questions. Two questions become a conversation. A conversation becomes a friendship. Everything starts with one simple sentence. So never think your English is too small. Small sentences can create big opportunities.
You know what? I think we should play a little game with everyone listening.
Oh, I like games. What kind of game?
It is very easy. Imagine I ask you a question. Don't answer in your head, answer out loud. Even if nobody is around you, answer with your voice. Ready?
That sounds fun. Let's do it.
Here is the first question. What is your name?
Go ahead, answer confidently. Don't be shy.
Very good. Now the second question. Where are you from?
Take your time. Speak slowly. There's no rush.
Excellent. Now another one. What is your favorite food?
I wonder what everyone is saying. Maybe pizza?
Or maybe biryani.
Oh, now I'm getting hungry.
Me too. Maybe talking about food is a dangerous idea.
Maybe we should continue before we both start looking for snacks.
You're right. But did everyone notice something? Those questions were very simple, and yet they helped you practice speaking English. That is all you need in the beginning. Simple questions, simple answers. Daily practice.
Exactly. Many learners think practice has to be difficult. It doesn't. You can practice while making breakfast. You can describe what you are doing. For example, I am making tea. The water is hot. The tea smells nice. These simple sentences train your brain to think in English.
I actually do that sometimes. When I cook, I talk to myself in English. If someone heard me, they might think I was having a conversation with the vegetables.
Imagine saying, "Hello, tomato. How are you today?"
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. Please don't put me in the salad.
Poor tomato. But jokes aside, talking to yourself is actually one of the best ways to practice speaking. There's no pressure, nobody's judging you, and you can repeat the same sentence as many times as you want.
Exactly. Practice doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to happen. Every minute you spend speaking English is helping your future self become more confident.
And remember something very important. Progress is not a race. You don't have to learn faster than anyone else. You only need to keep moving. Even if today's progress feels very small, it is still progress.
Sometimes we look at successful people and think they reach their goals overnight, but success usually happens quietly. It grows day after day, just like the sunrise. You don't notice every little change, but suddenly the whole sky is bright.
That is a beautiful way to describe learning. One day you suddenly realize that you understood an English movie without subtitles, or you answered a question without translating in your head. Those little moments feel amazing because they show you how far you have come.
And when those moments happen, celebrate them. Don't wait until you become perfect. Celebrate every new word you learn. Celebrate every conversation you finish. Celebrate every time you find the courage to speak, even if your voice shakes a little.
Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is speaking even when you feel nervous. And every time you do that, your confidence becomes stronger than it was yesterday.
So if you're listening right now, we want you to remember one simple message. Don't give up on yourself. Your English is improving, your confidence is growing, and your future is becoming brighter, one conversation at a time. As we come to the end of today's conversation, I want to ask you one more question. Think about the person you were 6 months ago. Maybe your English was not as good as it is today. Maybe you knew fewer words. Maybe you were too shy to speak even one sentence. Now look at yourself today. Even if your progress feels small, you have still moved forward, and that is something to be proud of.
I completely agree. Sometimes we forget to celebrate our progress because we are too busy thinking about the next goal. We say, I want to speak more fluently, or I want a bigger vocabulary. Those are wonderful goals, but don't forget to appreciate how far you have already come. Every lesson you finish, every podcast you listen to, and every sentence you speak is another step towards your dream.
You know, confidence is a little like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. If you never speak because you are afraid, your confidence stays weak. But every time you open your mouth and say even one English sentence, that confidence becomes a little stronger. Day after day, week after week, you begin to notice a big difference.
And one day, something wonderful happens. You stop worrying about every single mistake. Instead, you start enjoying the conversation. You start listening more carefully. You start smiling more often. English becomes less like a school subject and more like a bridge that connects you with people from different countries and different cultures.
That is one of my favorite things about learning English. It gives you the chance to meet people you never imagined meeting. It allows you to read interesting books, watch inspiring videos, travel with more confidence, and even create new opportunities for your career. Learning English is not only about learning words, it is about opening new doors in your life.
Exactly. And remember, those doors do not open because you are perfect. They open because you are willing to learn. People admire effort. They respect someone who keeps trying. So never be embarrassed to say, I'm still learning. In fact, those 3 words show courage and honesty.
Let's repeat a few positive sentences together before we finish. If you can, say them out loud with confidence. Ready?
Here's the first one. I believe in myself.
Very good. Now say, I am becoming more confident every day.
Excellent. Now the next one. Every mistake helps me become better.
Wonderful. And finally, my favorite sentence, I can speak English with confidence.
One more time with a big smile. I can speak English with confidence.
That sounded amazing. Even if you didn't feel confident at first, I hope you feel a little stronger now. Remember, confidence grows through action. Keep listening, keep reading, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Before we say goodbye, we have a small challenge for you. Today, try to speak English for at least 5 minutes. Talk to yourself, talk to a friend, or simply describe what you see around you. Don't worry about being perfect. Just enjoy using English. Every minute you practice today is an investment in your future.
And if you ever feel discouraged, come back and listen to this conversation again. Let these words remind you that every expert was once a beginner. Every confident speaker once felt nervous. The only reason they improved is because they refused to give up.
We truly believe in you. Even though we may never meet you in person, we know you have the ability to improve. Keep your dreams alive, stay curious, stay patient, and never stop learning, because every new day is another chance to become a better version of yourself.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We hope this conversation made you smile, helped you relax, and gave you more confidence to speak English. Learning a language is a journey, and we are so happy to be part of your journey.
Before you go, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, what is one dream you want to achieve by learning English? We read your comments, and they always inspire us. Your story might also encourage another learner who needs a little motivation today.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who is learning English. The more we learn together, the stronger and more confident we all become.
Take care of yourself. Keep smiling, keep practicing, and remember, you are learning, you are growing, and you are capable of amazing things.
We'll see you again in the next conversation. Until then, believe in yourself, speak with confidence, and have a wonderful day.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep learning, keep shining, and never stop believing in yourself. Bye-bye.